So next step, we don't want to have it hard-coded. We want the port to be more flexible. So what we could do is, for example, use arguments, or we could use environment variables, or we could use, for example, system properties. Just for now, use environment variables. So we could go with code like this: system get environment variable port, and this is a string, so we have to turn the string into an integer. Okay, so if we have a wanted port, let's give it here wanted. The problem is, if we don't provide this environment variable, the code would fail because I have null put into value of. So we have to change this a bit to make it more safe. We could use, for example, an optional. And this could be nullable. Okay. And we map it to integer value of, and in the else case, so when it's not given, we need a port, so we could go with 9000, for example, or, which is more nice, we can use something else. So let's go with this free port. What this does is, it's the number -1, or no, it's the number 0. And if you provide the number 0 into this configuration, then the implementation is asked to actively search for a free port. So let's try this. I deliberately have not given a port on the environment variable, and just start our server, and let's see what happens. Yes, you can see the chosen port is 58627, and let's do it again, and the number is changed. So this is quite interesting. Free port is always choosing a free port, but if you just killed the previous process, then the port still is lingering, so it's not free to use. That's why free port is nice on one hand, because you get this thing running, but you cannot be sure what the number will be like even twice in a row. So in a real world application, I would actually rather go with something like this. So we have a static port, but for development, it's really nice to have this one, because if whenever you have running other application servers or web servers or whatever on the typical suspect ports like 80, 80, 80, 8888 or something like else, this will always find a free port. So we can run it and always be sure that the server will come up running on a free port. And if you weren't lucky to click the checkbox, I simply go to the open ports. It tells me this is the port that it opened, and then I click on the browser, and here we see it runs on that port. So this is nice for development time, and this is nice for deployment time. As I said, you could also go with system properties instead, or with arguments. So if we want to go with system properties instead, let's try this. We ask for a property named port, and it should work out of the box. Let's clear this one here and run again. And you might wonder why it has chosen 8080, because nobody set an environment variable. Well, actually I did. I pre-configured, a launch configuration inside my IDE, and I said if you're launching this application, then provide -d, which is setting system property, and the name is port and the value is 8080. And in case you don't believe, let's turn it into 8000 and do it again. It should work. This is something all the IDEs can do, and certainly in the real world you would do this, for example in the configuration of Kubernetes or Docker or something. So now we have 8000, open the browser, and still it does work. So this is how we can pass very easily port numbers and other information into the bootstrapping, and in turn ask for the actual port or URL chosen. We have seen we asked for a free port, and we were reported an ephemeral port, and when we provided a specific port, then we were provided with the specific port back. So this is very nice to just start up an application server without an application server product, without a framework. And again, there is no Jersey specific code. This is not specific to Jersey or something else. This is something all the implementations of JAX-RS 3.1 do provide when they are able to provide Java SE based containers. To continue, provide a wanted configuration, pass it together with the application into the start method, and accept the started instance from this as the configuration.